case. All right, let's go to Gateshead. Gateshead. Am I saying that right? Folks in the chat. Let's see. Yeah,
Yes,
Gateshead. Okay.
Gateshead.
Thank you to Matthew and Owen in the chat. It's made it real easy for me there. Gates space head. Got it. I can do that. That's easy enough. Dina Asher Smith wins that awesome women's 100 that we had talked about. Now, the conditions were horrible. Rain, headwinds. It was a minus 3.1. So throughout the times, she runs 11.3. Sha'Carri Richardson, 11.4. Toulouse, 11.48. And then Fraser Price, 11.51. So big news here. Asher Smith gets the win. Were you surprised?
Yeah, but then when you think about it, you feel like the dominance of Sha'Carri, I think she probably was like, I'm just here so I don't get fined kind of mentality of like, I'm gonna do the race, but like I have no like emotional connection to losing this race or winning it. So like the only connection I have is completing it with these, 3.1 headwind and in the rain. And so I think it does. I mean, Dina Asher Smith is one of the best in the world. So it's not like it was a scrub that beat Sha'Carri, but I still think Sha'Carri Richardson's the fastest runner in the world right now.
It's hard to imagine that we'll see these conditions in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine, even in Eugene, even by Eugene's standards where it can be supremely wet, I don't think we'll see them. I mean, credit to Asher Smith for doing it in horrible conditions. I actually think the most notable result here is Fraser Price being, and I think it's a good result for Fraser Price, 11.51 at this point in the season. Only, looking at the margin between her to first, because I just think as the season goes on, she's going to get better. And if she's in range in the championships, nobody does it better than she does. So I think it's a good result for Fraser Price. It certainly, it tightens things up a little bit, right? The gap maybe not as big. Like you look at the times, but times aren't everything. You have to do it in a specific setting. And Asher Smith's one of those people where her PB isn't. She's better than her PB, I think. Right? Like she's what 1085, I think, Dina Asher Smith. So I think she's gonna, if she had great conditions and the opportunity, I think she'd be somebody who could run faster than that too. It's shaping up to be a great women's 100-meter season. I was 1083 for Asher Smith. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Then I saw the weather, wasn't that surprised. It throws a wrench into everybody's plans, right? We see this in distance racing too. It's the equivalent to, hey, you go out there on a cross country course and it's muddy and wet, and it kind of screws with the field a bit, and that was the case here.
I also think for someone like Richardson, who is super new to the scene, it's good to take some L's. You don't want to have a perfect resume going into the Olympics because you kind of need this, like, it's like in basketball. It's good to lose. You learn from losing. You learn, clearly you can't just show up and run backwards and win no matter what, right? Especially when you go up against people like Asher Smith, who's a world-class athlete. You could do that against a high school kid or a college kid, but the pro level, it doesn't always work. Talent doesn't always win. And I think it's good. It kind of prepares you so she knows when she's locked in at the trials and locked in in Tokyo, she'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. And remember, it's her first trip overseas. Yeah. So she does Ostrava. She does this Diamond League meet. That's tough in and of itself, just to navigate different time zones, travel, all those parts that go into being a pro that you probably learn from with every single trip that you take. So I think it's a show of strength by her to go over there and do it, because I think if she was just thinking, okay, trials, she might just keep her head down, stay in the United States and get in a race here. But I think she's thinking, hey, I'm going to see these people in Tokyo. I want to know what it's like to line up next to them. So I better get in this race now. It shows that she's thinking beyond. She's thinking bigger than